Hello everyone, it's me, Clayton. I just finished watching Over the Moon, directed by Disney animator and animation legend Glen Keane, and it's the second film to be made by Pearl Studio, the exact same studio who made last year's Abominable. And I will say this is definitely an improvement from that film. Not saying that Abominable was a bad film, I just felt like it had some edges that needed to be sanded off before it could truly be something great. And Over the Moon definitely provides a well done story with likable characters, great animation, and some surprisingly really good songs. And I'm pretty sure if it wasn't for the pandemic, this probably wouldn't have been picked up by Netflix. But it was picked up by Netflix, so we can all enjoy this amazing film and in our doors. So let's get to the story, shall we? The story is about a young girl named Fei Fei who ends up losing her mother at a young age. And when her father, played by John Cho, ends up trying to get remarried to a woman played by Sandra Oh, Fei Fei isn't exactly thrilled with the fact that he's remarrying, believing that her father is losing the love he had for losing the love he had for her original mother. So, in order to prove to her father that love lasts forever, she decides to head over to space on a makeshift rocket in order to find a moon goddess that her mother used to tell her stories about, Chang'e. And ultimately, when she gets to space, she finds Chang'e. The moon goddess is in fact real. But she has a task for young Fei Fei. She has to return a gift that could get her to see her beloved Hoi one more time. So, Fei Fei has to go around the galaxy to try and find this gift, while also learning the importance of accepting a new family and accepting the loss of a loved one. But that's all I'll say about the story. The story is honestly really well done, as it happens to handle its message quite well without dumbing it down that much for the audience, and I do think it's a very important message for people to learn, especially young children. And thankfully, there aren't any cop-outs in the narrative that would have weakened the impact of the message. That message happens to essentially strengthen the story rather than detract from it, especially considering that it allows the characters to develop rather well. That's what helps Fei Fei become a rather dynamic protagonist, as she gets to change her viewpoints throughout the film and actually become a more likable character as we go throughout the film. Granted, there are some moments that did make me think that the film was trying a little too hard to be mainstream, such as Chang'e's initial appearance as a pop star. Essentially, it's like a galaxy-wide pop star, but she has enough emotional moments to make her seem genuine as well. It just felt like that was an odd decision, even if this is a musical. And speaking of which, the songs in this musical are actually rather fun as well. I could definitely tell that Glen Keane was on hand for the character animation at this point as the director, considering that the movements and the songs definitely evoke classic Disney when it comes to the tunes and when it comes to the overall movements in the computer animation. And the other characters are likable too to help us balance that out. For example, Fei Fei has a new little brother named Chin who's always running into walls and is extremely skilled at ping pong. I thought he was rather fun. Ken Jeong voices a little dog named Gobi, who I felt was pretty funny. I thought his humor would overstay its welcome, but he's only introduced about halfway through the film, and most of his lines did get a chuckle out of me. Plus, I think one of the things I love the most about this film is just the look and design of everything. Pearl Studio definitely has a lot going for them in terms of pure animation beauty. And while it's not on the same level of, say, Disney and Pixar, I do think it's definitely DreamWorks level when it comes to its animation, which makes sense because Abominable was also partially made by DreamWorks. Or was it just distributed? Either way, the movie looks good. It's bright, it's colorful, especially in the scenes involving space, and especially in any of the scenes that heavily evoke Chinese culture, of which this film is loaded with. So, to sum all the things up, Over the Moon is an absolutely great animated film that I hope people give a shot. Trust me, it's definitely showing a bright future for Pearl Studio, and that's why I'm going to give it an 8.5 out of 10. See you next time.